Welcome back, casual collectors. I'm Steelwolf.
And Spider Kid.
And today we're bringing you a review of the Disney's Galaxy's Edge Kestis Legacy Lightsaber.
So this lightsaber was released on March of 25th, 2022. And you can pick them up at Disneyland or Disney World. It is located in Galaxy's Edge in Dock Ondars. The price is $159.99. And if you are a Magic Key holder, you will not get a discount for this lightsaber. Okay, so now for box details. We can see in the front, we can see a button that would activate the hinges to open a lightsaber box. But also at the button is the Jedi logo that has a blue background and a gold-like lightsaber. And as you can see around it, we can see these like creases inside that look like a lot of crates or boxes around here. Now if we look to the side, it really does remind me of a First Order type thing inside. Like if you were to go inside of a First Order base, you would see something like this. But I also do like how the middle is kind of like an X right here. So if you look at the back, you can see a gap to where the hinges would open to see the lightsaber. And also this really cool shape with again those crate-like looking things. And if you look at the side again, we can see the same thing as for the other side. If you look at the top, you can see two air vent-like things with some really cool rectangles on the side of it too. So now if we look at the bottom, we can see the name Kestis, and underneath that is Legacy Lightsaber Hilt. And it is a pretty good way of knowing where to put the batteries and where to unscrew and screw things in. You can also see a bunch of illegal stuff on the side also, and the big name Star Wars. And with all that said, let's try to bring back the Force and all the Jedis.
Alright, so let's go ahead and open this guy and see what it looks like while it's still in the box. Now first we have to press this Jedi logo here in order to unlock this thing. You just push in and lift. And here you have it, and that's how it sits in the box. Alright, before we get this guy out of the box, let's go ahead and show you all the other additional accessories it comes with. So let's take a look on how to access the other accessory that comes with this lightsaber. Let's first get this guy out of here. And then all you gotta do is just lift up this little black piece. And there you go. Your other accessories stored nicely inside. Boom. Keep in mind, if you wanted to store your Kestis Legacy lightsaber with this piece attached in the box, you will not be able to. This just makes the lightsaber hilt way too long to fit in this box. So you have to have this piece resting in here, and you have to have the double-sided lightsaber adapter piece on the hilt itself in order to store it back in this box. Okay, here we have the only two additional accessories that come with the Kestis Legacy lightsaber. On the left here, we have the actual piece that you guys will recognize from the video game of where the lightsaber was damaged. And just taking a look at this thing just looks absolutely amazing. And we're going to cover this in more detail a little bit later on. The other thing that we get here is this adapter. Now, while it's in the box, this is what comes on the lightsaber itself. So this is the adapter piece that will allow you to hook up another Kestis Legacy lightsaber, making it into a double-bladed lightsaber. Just keep in mind that it is going to cost you another $159. And again, no Magic Key discount. Alright, here we have the Kestis Legacy lightsaber out of the package and looking amazing. I mean, just the sheer detail on the hilt itself is awesome. Love the design. It's huge, it's bulky, and it's got some pretty good weight to it as well.
I can agree. I really like how all the metal shines like in the light. I do love all the little details inside every little nook and cranny of it. But overall, I really think that it's a little too big and bulky. But for some people, they can like that, and some may not like it.
Let's take a closer look at some of the details and also trying on the different adapters. Alright, taking a closer look here, let's start with the top here where the emitter is at. And this looks great. I love this all metallic stuff. This just looks really cool, all this metal. And it actually really is metal. So it's going to have that nice weight to it. Now let's take a look here inside. As you can see, we have the inner workings of where the blade goes in. Now, these always come with the little blade cap that will protect the inside. You just pop it in there and it'll protect it. Now you can see inside here, there's not much detail inside. I think what would have been a nice little added bonus if it would have had maybe some scorched metal parts right here, you know, some coloring to it to make it look like it's scorched, you know, from the heat of the actual lightsaber. I would think that would have been pretty cool. Let's move on to this part right here. As you can see, we have all these little electronic pieces that are showing, and some of them looked pretty weathered. But this looks great. I love this exposed part. It reminds me a lot of Kylo Ren's, how his is all kind of like gritty. It's not so sleek, you know. You can see all the little pieces and everything. That's what this reminds me of. But this is awesome right here. That looks really good in there. Let's move a little bit farther down. We have this little knob right here, but unfortunately this is just for show. This really doesn't turn, it doesn't do anything, but nonetheless it's still looking cool, and it's also still metal. We have this other piece here that's a different color, and this is more of your goldish kind of bronze color, but it looks amazing. Going a little bit further down here, we have some grooves here, and inside looks like they painted it black. That definitely gives it a different look. It looks pretty cool. And here we just have some of the stickers, which we're going to remove later. Now we have the cover tech wheel right here. So in case you guys don't know, or you guys are new to the whole legacy lightsabers, this is a cover tech wheel. And what this is for, this is basically what's going to allow you to wear it on a Jedi belt that they also sell at Galaxy's Edge. Now the way it works is that you need a belt clip. And Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland or Disney World do sell those belt clips. And we have one right here to show you guys. This is what the belt clip looks like. So you basically clip it onto your belt on the back here. And for the cover tech wheel, it just slides right into this groove. So we're going to demonstrate that right now. It just slides right in here. Once you hear that click, you're good to go. And this is what's going to hold up your lightsaber, as you can see here. Pretty neat. And now to remove the lightsaber, you would just squeeze this here with the other button and just pull it out, and there it goes. And that's how you would hold this onto your belt. Moving on, here we have another detail right here, and this just looks really cool. This doesn't really do anything, it's just an added decoration. We got these cool sculpted parts here, and these are individual grooves here. You can definitely feel them, and they got some black paint inside. Now on this side, as you can see here, that's indicated by this sticker, this would be where your ignition switch is. So you flick this up and it would turn on the lightsaber. To turn it off, you just basically push it right back down. And as you can see, nothing's going on because there is no blade here. Moving farther down from the ignition switch here, we have the handle itself. And as you can see, there's all this cool detail here. Now this material right here, this feels kind of like a soft rubber. That's what it kind of feels like, but it's a nice feel. It definitely lets you hold on to it. So even if your hands are a little sweaty, it definitely helps with that grip on the handle there. Moving farther down, here we can see some holes, and these holes here are intentional. This is so that the sound can come out. Now the sound does come out of the bottom, but they actually added also holes on the sides to project that sound also on the sides other than just the bottom there. Now if you can see, this piece that we have isn't very accurate to the game. However, this is just the adapter that you're going to use in order to connect a second Cal Kestis Legacy lightsaber so that you can create your own Cal Kestis double-bladed lightsaber. And this is the adapter piece here. Let's take a quick closer look at this adapter. And now taking a closer look here, we have that same soft rubber material, which feels great. And as you can see, there's a closer look at those holes. And again, this is what's going to allow the sound to travel out of the hilt. And as you can see on the bottom there, and also on the back here. And it is threaded, as you can see here. Here we have the other adapter piece. This is more accurate to the game, as we all would recognize it if you played Jedi Fallen Order. And this just looks outstanding. And let's just take a closer look, and man, did they do a hell of a good job with the paint in here. And this is all like a soft kind of plastic material. Even this right here, so don't feel like this is going to snap. This is like a soft plastic, but it feels really good. And just look at that detail. They did a great job on the paint, on the sculpt of this. This just looks amazing. We got some inner workings here on the hilt. That looks great. Look at all this. Just looks amazing. That is absolutely awesome. Let's take a look at the very end here. That looks great. And this little red exposed wire. Yeah, this looks amazing. But to cover where the sound would come out with, because if you recall, on this adapter we have these holes here, as you can see there, and that's going to allow the sound to escape. Now on this guy, they did a pretty good job of hiding where those holes were. So let's go ahead and take a peek here. Right here is where you can see those holes. There we go, all right there. And we got a few of them right here. Very, very nice. Awesome, awesome. And it's also opened, as you can see from right here. That's also done intentionally to allow the sound to travel outwards. But awesome design, looks absolutely amazing. And as you can see, it also has threads here. So let's go ahead and thread this guy onto the hilt itself. And here we go. Here it's all threaded in. And absolutely awesome. Look at this. This just looks so cool. And believe me, with this extra piece on here, it makes the hilt itself a lot more longer compared to the shorter piece, which is for the double-bladed lightsaber. But just like this is awesome. I mean, just looks amazing. Look at this detail on this hilt. Now, there is a downside, you can say, to this hilt being designed the way it is with some of the holes on the side, is that if you were trying to do a double grip here, there is a possibility that you can cover up those holes. If anything, you'd want to kind of hold it just a little bit higher so that you don't risk covering up these holes. I mean, you can still hold it here and like this, you know, just be careful not to cover those holes. But in my opinion, I think that even if you did cover those holes, you still have this exposed part right here where the sound can still travel out. So this shouldn't be too much to worry about. But there you go. Very, very awesome.
Okay, so for the batteries, this takes about 3 AAA batteries, and the way is that you put them in is simple. All you gotta do is just unscrew the bottom here. So this is where the sound comes from and the battery, and all you gotta do is just pull it out. So here's the battery compartment, and as you see, there are 4 screws, but you want to focus on this one right here. And all I'm gonna do is just unscrew it. So then I start taking this off, this will come off, and then from there you want to put in specifically AAA batteries on here, and then just put them inside. And after you do that, close this back up, and then just screw everything back in. And so if you could put the battery compartment back in the lightsaber, just know there's only one way. And you can see there's like a triangle inside there because there's this piece, so you know specifically where to put it. So after the batteries are in, all you gotta do now is put your bottom part of the lightsaber back in and then just screw it in. And that's you put the batteries in.
So let's go ahead and put a blade inside so that you guys can listen to the different hums and sounds that it makes. And after that, we'll go ahead and turn this guy on in the dark so you guys can see what it looks like. So to get this guy in, very, very simple. We're going to push this in all the way, and then we're going to turn clockwise to lock it in. And that sound tells you that you're making contact with the connectors and that you're good to go. So we won't show you what the blade looks like just yet. We're going to focus more on all the sounds that it does. So let's go ahead and turn this puppy on and let's hear it hum. Let's go ahead and power it down. Very, very quick. And let's go ahead and turn on the ignition one more time so you guys can listen to that. And one more time to turn it off. And one more ignition. Alright guys, so here's Spider-Kid in his Jedi outfit here. And we're going to go ahead and show you guys what the Cal Kestis lightsaber looks like when it's sitting on the Galaxy's Edge Jedi belt. So let's go ahead and have him pull over his robe there. And there you go. Now, as you can see, it looks okay, just, you know, sitting there on the belt, and it's on the belt clip. The only problem that we both kept running into was that it's very uncomfortable with your arm there. So you kind of have to walk with your arm outward, kind of like that, yeah. So it's very awkward. Now, the other thing about it is that it's really heavy. Now, he had to put on that belt pretty tight, because usually when you just have it, you know, somewhat loose on there, you're going to definitely see the belt's going to shift downward just because of the weight of that lightsaber. All right, so here I am now in my Jedi outfit. And as you can see, with what I'm wearing, it conceals the lightsaber pretty well. But I actually have it on, so I just reveal this here, and there you go. Now, I just think that it looks cool, although I wish it would have been this way. This makes more sense, but because of where the CoverTech wheel is, it tends to want to kind of just go this way, and it'll do this on its own. So this is the way it's going to sit when you have it on your belt. But like I said though, this is actually a problem because when you're walking, you're going to keep on bumping into this hilt right here, and that is an issue. So I typically feel that when we're at Galaxy's Edge and I'm walking with it, that I have to kind of extend my arm like this to walk like this, you know, and this just feels awkward, and I can definitely feel that I have something on my waist versus other lightsabers that, you know, they'll hang lower, so you don't have to move your arms a certain way to get them out of the way of hitting the lightsaber itself. But on me, you know, I have the belt on pretty tight. It doesn't feel too heavy on me, you know, but over time as you walk, you know, you go through the park, it's definitely going to feel heavy, and it will start to sag. So you're going to have to adjust your belt a lot more during the day. But honestly, it feels okay. I just wish that the CoverTech wheel did sit closer to the handle itself. Now, the other issue I've been having with this particular lightsaber is getting it off the clip. For whatever reason, I always feel that I'm struggling with this guy to get it off the clip itself. So like when I want to pull the lightsaber out, I kind of have to turn it this way, and I can still squeeze the two buttons here for the clip, but for some reason, it's always a little bit tricky to get it out. That time it worked out pretty well, but sometimes I'm just kind of having to kind of, you know, rough it out of there. But other than that though, it feels good. And like I said, this thing looks great. All right, so here we have Spider-Kid gonna go ahead and demonstrate what the actual lightsaber looks like when it's powered up. And there you go. So right off the bat, it looks very bright. And honestly, we have just like the shades, you know, pulled down, but it's not even complete darkness, and it looks hecka bright. But nonetheless, it definitely looks nice, looks awesome.
Okay, so now Steelwolf will show us what it looks like for the lightsaber to turn on. But this time, this is going to be the more larger blade.
So to give you guys an idea of how long this lightsaber hilt is, let's go ahead and get a measurement here. And from the very tip of the red exposed wire to the very top of the emitter here, it looks like it goes to about 16.5 inches. And to measure it out with the smaller adapter piece for the double-bladed lightsaber, it comes in at about 13 inches long. So basically you double that number, and that's how long it's going to be with the second Cal Kestis Legacy lightsaber attached. And that's not including the blade length. Alright, so it's that time again for our rating. And as always, you can see the rating system on the left there. And I'm going to go ahead and give this guy a rating of epic. Now giving it the rating of epic, mainly just because of the cover tech wheel. I think for me, that's one of the biggest issues. I don't like where they placed the cover tech wheel. I feel that it was too high or too close to the emitter, so that when you clip it onto the belt clip on a belt, I feel that it's just so high that when you're trying to walk with it, you're going to keep bumping into your arm. At least that's what happened with me. When I wore it, my arm kept bumping into it, so I felt like I had to walk with my arm kind of sticking out so that it wouldn't keep hitting the lightsaber emitter every time that I walked. So that was a little annoying. Now the second thing is that some of these legacy lightsabers can be pretty hefty in weight, so they are going to feel a little heavier on one side. Now that's pretty normal, but I think that because of where the lightsaber cover tech wheel is for this one, I think that the heaviness makes that even worse. And when you do wear it, the lightsaber itself is not going to swing because of the cover tech, which is a good thing. But the bottom of the lightsaber hilt, which is the damaged portion there, is not going to be close to your hip. Actually, the emitter is going to want to swing upwards to point towards the sky. So that's, possibly a good thing or a bad thing, just depending on the look that you're going for, and depending, honestly, personally, if you like it or you don't. So for me, those are the two main biggest issues. Now, one more problem that I had with this was the fact that it could not change colors. Now, we got that with the Ahsoka Tano Clone Wars Legacy lightsabers. Those were able to change colors with a push of a button. Now, as you guys know, if you've played Jedi Fallen Order, you see that one of the customizable options that Cal has for the lightsaber is to change the color of the blade itself. I just felt that it was such a missed opportunity that they didn't give you that. They didn't have to give you all the colors that were in the game, nor did they have to give you all the colors that they have available at Galaxy's Edge. I mean, simply, if they would have just gave you the blue, the green, and maybe even the yellow, it would have been fine. But just to give you that extra option. So for me, those were the biggest issues of this lightsaber itself.
So I'm going to go ahead and give this guy a rating of
Legendary.
One of the reasons why is just because the way it looks. It's metallic, it looks really cool, even on this table. It's really cool, and I do like all the little details that from far away you won't see, but up close it's amazing. But there's multiple problems I have with this. Mostly it's still was stain. It was the cover tech wheel, which I think is a weird place to put it, because when I had it on, it felt really uncomfortable walking around with, and as you'll see in some pictures, it looked really weird just having it. And even some lightsabers had the wheel, or even the ring, mostly around where you would hold it. So I think it was pretty weird having it there specifically. Another thing I have a problem with would be definitely the colors. As also Steel Wolf was saying, some lightsabers, and mostly the Savi's Workshop ones, were able to change colors depending on what crystal or if there was a button. I would have personally liked all the colors, but I feel like some would have been also good. Another thing I like about this lightsaber is how the top of it is all metal. It looks really great, but it could be a little annoying after a while because that's where all the weight is. So even if you're trying to hold it, like I was, it's really complicated. But I was also surprised to know is that this is a lot more heavier than the Savi's one. And I used to believe that the Savi ones actually were a lot heavy, but I was proven wrong today.
And there you have it, our review on the Galaxy's Edge Cal Kestis Legacy Lightsaber. I'm Steel Wolf.
And Spider Kid.
Continue collecting, and remember, stay casual.